Hello, and welcome to our Shakespeare Showcase. I'm Abby Dickson.
Angela McDermott.
I'm Cassie Post.
And I'm Molly Milligan, and we are the directors of Virtual Theater 2020's Shakespeare Showcase.
On behalf of the cast and crew, thank you for joining us. Our company, Virtual Theater 2020, is an online-based community theater based in Washington State in the United States of America.
We are committed to creating a safe, inclusive, and accessible space for artists to create virtual performance art during a time when in-person theater is an impossibility.
We have prepared a variety of Shakespeare scenes and monologues for you tonight.
You can see upcoming events and performances for Virtual Theater 2020 by visiting our website, thetheater2020.wixsite.com/play.
There will be a 15-minute talkback after the show. If you have a question for anyone, please comment on our live feed on Facebook.
Oh. The following scene is from A Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 1, Scene 2. The workers get together to rehearse a Zoom play.
Hello?
What's up? Okay.
Hey. Hi, how are you?
Good evening.
Ciao.
Hi, guys. Is all our company here?
You were best to name them generally, man by man, according to the script.
Here is the scroll of everyone's name, which is thought fit through all Zoom to play in our interviewed before the Duke and Duchess on his wedding day at night.
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats are. Then read the names of the actors, and so grow to a point.
Mary, our play is the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe.
A very good piece of work, I assure you. And a merry. Now, good Peter Quince, call forth the actors by the scroll. Masters, spread yourselves.
Answer as I call you, Nick Bottom, the weed dealer.
Weeder. Ready. Name what part I'm for and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
A lover that kills himself most gallant for love.
Ooh, that will ask some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condole in some measure. It's the rest.
Next we have...
But my chief humor is for a tyrant. I could play Ercles rarely, or a part to tear a cat in to make all split. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates, and the scar shall shine from far and make and mar the foolish face. Name the rest of the players. This is Berkeley's vein, a tyrant's vein. A lover is more condoling.
Francis Flute, the HVAC technician.
Here, Peter Quince.
Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
What is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Hey, Faith. Let me not play a woman. I have a beard coming.
That's all one. You shall play it in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too, and I'll speak in a monstrous little voice. Disney, Disney. Piano, love dear, like Thisbe dear, and lady dear.
No. You must play Pyramus, and Flute, you Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Robin Starveling, the tailor.
Here, Peter Quince.
Robin Starveling, you must play Thisbe's mother. Tom Snout, the sales associate at William and Sonoma.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus' father. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug, the student and matchmaker. You, the lion's part, and I hope here is a play fitted.
I prefer the term joiner. Have you the lion's part written? Pray you, if it be, give it me, for I am slow of study.
You may do it extempore, for it is nothing but roaring.
Let me play the lion's part too. I will roar that I will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will that I will make the Duke say, let him roar again. Let him roar again.
And you should do it too terribly. You would fright the Duchess and the ladies that they would shriek, and that were enough to hang us all. That would hang us, every mother's son.
Every mother's son. I grant you, friends, if that we should fright the ladies out of their wits, they would have no more discretion but to hang us. But I will aggravate my voice so that I will roll you as gently as 'twere any sucking dove. I will roar and 'twere any nightingale.
You can play no part but Pyramus! For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man, as one might meet on a lovely summer's eve, a lovely, gentleman-like man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it. What beard were I best to play it in?
Why, what you will.
I will discharge it in either your straw-colored beard, your orange-tawny beard, your purple in grain beard, or your French clown killer, your perfect yellow
Some of your French crowns have no hair at all, and then you shall play barefaced. But, masters, here are your parts, and I am to entreat you, request you, and desire you to con them by tomorrow night, and meet me on Zoom at 10:15 by moonlight. There we shall rehearse. For if we meet in the city, we shall be dogged with company, and our devices known. In the meantime, I shall draw up a bill of properties, such as our play once. I pray you, fail me not.
We will meet, and here we may rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains. Be perfect. Adieu.
On Zoom we meet. The meeting ID is 800-588.
Enough all the cut bowstring.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, everyone.
Take good care.
Ciao.
Rosalind, under disguise, comes face to face with the love that she had to leave behind and tackles the dilemma of his asking for romantic advice. This is a monologue from As You Like It, Act 3, Scene 2.
Yes. 1. And in this manner, he was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, shallow and constant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passions really anything, as boys and women are for the most part, cattle of this color, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, then spit at him. I drave. Suitor. From his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus, I cured him. And in this way, I will take it upon me to wash your liver clean as a sound sheep's heart. There shall not be one spot of love in it.
This next scene is an excerpt from Henry V's well-known monologue. The scene is adapted to show a timid actor and his fervent director as they try to figure out how to best portray this speech. Perhaps this scene will remind you of your own experiences trying to perform Shakespeare. This is Henry V, Act 3, Scene 1.
All right, Henry, let's try it again from the beginning of your speech.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead. In peace there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility.
Stop! Remember, you are trying to inspire your troops to fight, not put them to sleep. Continue, but this time with feeling.
But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of a tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored rage.
No, with feeling, like this. On, you noblest English, whose blood is fet from fathers of war-proof. Be copy now to men of grosser blood, and teach them how to war. And you, good yeomen, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the mettle of your pasture. Let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not. See how I emphasize the emotion? Now you try.
I'm sorry, you kind of jumped around and skipped a bunch of lines. Where do you want me to start?
Just end the scene. I'm feeling done with this.
Okay, I'll try my best. I see you stand like greyhounds in the slips, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George!
That was detestable! Were you even paying attention to my performance? I need a break. Take 5.
This next adaptation of the famous witches scene from Macbeth takes us out of the mists of Scotland and into a teenage girl's slumber party. What mischief will these girls get into when their parents aren't watching? This is Macbeth, Act 4, Scene 1.
Ooh, girls, let's try this love potion I found in this magazine.
Okay, then maybe my crush will notice me. Hey, I think it's a good idea.
Cool, let's use this for a cauldron. Elizabeth, you go first.
Okay. Thrice the brinded cat hath meowed. Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harp your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time!
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison on shall throw. Close it under cold stone. Days and night has 31. Sweltered venom, sleeping got. Boil fell first as a charmed pot.
Double toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt, toe of frog, will of bat and tongue of dog. Spider's fork and blindworm sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like soup broth, boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn, cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, ma and gulf. Of the rabbit it's salt sea shark, root of hemlock, dig into the dark. Add thereto a tiger's chaldron, for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. And now about the cauldron sing, 5 elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that we put in. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open knocks whoever knocks.
How now, you girls? What is it you do?
Dad, we were just working on a science project.
Totally.
Huh. That's an interesting looking project. Well, Lily and Bee's parents are here.
Oh no! When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
Fair is foul and foul is fair!
See you at school on Monday. Bye.
Hamlet contemplates his life in scene 1 of Act 3. He finds Ophelia, and they talk of their relationship.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us bear those ills we have than fly to those we know not of? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklier o'er with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and loose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well,
My lord, I have remembrances of yours which I have longed to redeliver. I pray you, now receive them.
no, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them gifts of so sweet breath composed has made the things more rich, their perfumes lost. Take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts prove wax when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Ha! Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
that if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock that we shall relish of it. I do not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errand knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy way to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Well,
Oh, help him! You sweet heavens!
if thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Go, farewell. Or if thou dost need marry, marry a fool. But wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him.
I have heard of your paintings too well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig, you amble, you lisp, you nickname God's creatures, and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to it! All no more on it, it hath made me mad. Say we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go!
Oh! What noble mind is here overthrown? The courtiers, soldiers, scholars' eye, tongue, soared the expectancy and rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quiet! Quiet down! And I, ladies of most dejected and wretched, that sucked the honey of his sweet music, bow. I now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form of youth blown, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Moved to a modern-day interpretation, a group of actors are forced to temporarily share housing while performing a show on site. Personalities clash as some want to socialize with their peers while others are more seriously minded. This is Twelfth Night, Act 2, Scene 3.
Approach, Sir Andrew. Not to be abed after midnight is to be up betimes, and deliculo sergere thou knowest?
Nay, by my troth, I know not. But I know to be up late is to be up late.
A false conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled can. So, to be up after midnight and to go to bed then is early. So to go to bed after midnight is to go to bed betimes. Does not our lives consist of the 4 elements?
Faith, so they say, but I think it rather consists of eating and drinking.
Thou art a scholar. Therefore I say, let us eat and drink. Maria, I say, a stop of wine!
Here comes the fool in Faith.
Ooh. Oh, how now, my hearts? Did you never see the picture of we three?
Welcome, ass. Now let's have a catch.
By my troth, the fool has an excellent breast. I had rather than 40 shillings, I had such a leg, and so sweet a breast to sing as the fool has. In sooth, thou wast in very gracious fooling last night when thou spokest of Hygrogromatus of the Lapians passing the equinoctial quibus. 'Twas very good, in faith. I sent thee sixpence for thy leman. Hadst it?
I did impeticos thy gratility, for Malvolio's nose is no whipstock. 'Cause my lady has a white hand, and the myrmidons. I know battle ale houses.
Excellent! Why, this is the best fooling when all is done. Now a song.
Come on. There's the sixpence for you. Let's have a song.
There's a testful of me too. If one night
Would you have a love song or a song of good life?
A love song. A love song.
I care not for good life.
Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, mistress mine, where are you roaming? Oh, stand here, your true love's coming. Oh, stand here, your true love's coming. That can sing both high and low. Trip no further, pretty sweeting. Journeys end in lovers' meeting. Every wise man's son doth know.
Excellent, good in faith.
Good, good.
Oh, what is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Oh, what is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Oh, present mirth hath present laughter. Present mirth hath present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. In delay there lies no plenty. So come and kiss me, sweet and 20. Youth's a stuff will not endure.
A mellifluous voice as I am through night.
A contagious breath.
No, very sweet and contagious in faith.
To hear by the nose is dulcet and contagion. But shall we make the welkin dance indeed? Shall we rouse the night owl with a catch that will draw 3 souls out of 1 weaver? Shall we do that?
As you love me, let's do it. I am a dog at a catch.
And by your lady, sir, some dogs will catch well.
No, certain. Let our catch be thou knave.
Hold thy peace, thou knave knight. I would be constrained to call thee knave knight.
'Tis not the first time I had a constraint to be one to call me name. Begin, fool, begin. Hold my peace.
I shall never begin if I hold my peace.
Good in faith. Come, begin.
Hold thy peace, and I pretty hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace,
hold thy peace,
hold thy peace, and I pretty hold thy peace, thou knave. Hold thy peace, thou knave.
What a caterwauling do you keep here? If my lady have not called up her steward Malvolio and bid him turn you out of doors, never trust me.
My lady is a Cataean. We are politicians, and Malvolio is a Pegaramzi, and three merry men be we. Am I not consanguineous? Am I not of her blood? Tilly Valley lady. There dwelt some man in Babylon. Lady.
Beshrew me, the knight is an admirable fooling.
Aye, he does well enough if he be disposed, and so do I too. He does it with a better grace, but I do it more natural.
On the 12th day of December.
For the love of God, peace!
My masters, are you mad? What are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? Do ye make a nail house of my lady's house, that ye squeak out your cozier's catches without any mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of persons, place, or time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you, though, that she harbors you as her kinsman. She's nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are welcome to the house. If not, and it would please you to take leave of her, she is very happy to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear heart, since I must needs be gone.
Nay, good Sir Toby.
His eyes do show his days are almost done.
Is it even so?
But I will never die.
Sir Toby, there you lie.
This is much credit to you.
Shall I bid him go?
What and if you do?
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
Oh, no, you dare not.
Oh, out of tune, sir. You lie. Art thou no more than a steward? Dost thou think that because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?
By Saint Anne, and ginger shall be hot in the mouth too.
Oh, thou art thou right. Go, sir. Rub your chain with crumb. Maria, I say, a stop of wine!
Mistress Mary, if you prize my lady's favor with anything more than contempt, you would not give means for this uncivil rule. She shall hear of it by this hand. Oh.
Go shake your ears.
It were as good a deed as to drink when a man's hungry, to challenge him the field, and then to break promise with him and make a fool of him.
Do it, knight. I'll write thee a challenge, or I will deliver thy indignation by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, Be patient for tonight. Since the youth of the counts was today with my lady, she is much out of quiet. For Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into an I word and make him a common recreation, do not think I have wit to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Oh, well, possess us. Possess us, tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he is a kind of Puritan.
Ooh, if I thought that, I'd beat him like a dog.
What? For being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason, but I have reason good enough.
The devil a Puritan he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser, an affectioned ass that cons state without book and utters it by great swarths, the best persuaded of himself, so crammed, as he thinks, with excellencies, that it is his grounds of faith that all that look on him love him, and on that vice in him will my revenge find notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, and complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very like my lady, your niece. On some forgotten manner, we can hardly make distinction of our hands.
Oh, excellent. I smell a device.
But I have it in my nose, too.
We shall think by the letters that thou wilt write that they come from my niece and that she's in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
And your horse would make him an ass.
Ass, I doubt not.
Oh, 'twill be admirable.
Fort Royal, I warrant you. I know my physical work with him. I will plant you two and let the fool make a third, wherein he shall find the letter, observe his construction of it. For this night, to bed, and dream on the event. Farewell.
Good night, Penthesilea.
Before me, she's a good wench.
Oh, she is a beagle, true bred, and one that adores me. What of that?
I was adored once, too.
Oh, let's to bed night. Thou hadst need send for more money.
If I cannot recover your niece, I am a foul way out.
Send for money, knight. If thou hadst not in the end, call me cut.
If I do not, never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come. I'll go burn some sack. 'Tis too late to go to bed now. Come, night. Come, night.
Following scene is from Love Slavers Lost, Act 4, Scene 2. Welcome to Professor Holofernes' online Zoom Spanish.
Very reverend sport, truly, and done in el testimonio of a good conscience.
El ciervo was, as you know, sangrando, in blood, right, like la manzana madura, who now hangeth like a jewel in the ear del cielo, the sky, el reino de Dios, heaven, and anon falleth like a mountain on the face of la tierra, the soil, el mundo, the earth.
Professor Holofernes, the epitafios are sweetly varied like a scholar at the least, but, Professor, I assure you it was a buck, un ciervo fuerte.
Señorita Nathaniel, yo no creo.
No era un yo no creo, sino un servatio.
Most barbarous intonation, yet a kind of insinuation, as it were, via, in way, of explication, actuar, as it were, replication, or rather, ostentosa, to show, as it were, your inclination after your sin forma, sin refinamiento, sin educación, sin disciplina, sin entrenamiento, or rather, sin letra, or rather it, sin experiencia. To insert again my yo no creo for un servatillo.
I said el ciervo was not a yo no creo. It was a servatio.
Simplicidad recocinada. Frijoles refritos. Oh, thou monster ignorance. How deformed do you look?
Professor, she has never fed of the dainties that are bred in a book. She has not eat paper, as it were. She has not drunk ink. Her intellect is not replenished. And such barren plants are set before us that we thankful should be, which we of taste and feeling are, for those parts that do fructify in us more than she. For as it would ill become me to be vain, indiscreet, or a fool, so were there a patch set on learning to see her in a school. But, todo bien, say I, being of an old father's mind, many can brook the weather that love not the wind.
Ustedes dos son muy sabios. Adivíname esto. What was a month old at Cain's birth that's not 5 weeks old yet?
Diana, la luna, señorita Doll. Diana, señorita Doll.
¿Quién es Diana?
A title to Phoebe? To Luna? To the moon?
Pues, la luna no cambia nunca más de un mes. The moon was a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not to 5 weeks when he came to 5 score. The illusion holds in the exchange.
'Tis true indeed. Changed.
Dios venga en ayuda de tu capacidad. I say the allusion holds in the exchange.
And I say the pollution holding the exchange, for the moon was never but a month old, and I say besides it was un servatio, the princess killed.
Señorita Nathaniel, will you hear an extemporal epitaph on the death of El Ciervo? And to humor the ignorant, call I the deer the princess killed un servatillo.
Purge, good Professor Holofernes. Purge, so it shall please you to abrogate scurrility.
I will something affect the letter, for it argues facility. La sierva cenicienta, arriba de tu siervo, va sirviendo a todos los siervos, siervas y servatillos en la sierra maestra donde viven todos los siervos. Cenicienta, la sirve a los siervos, siervas y siervacillos iguales. Y siempre rigiéndose arriba de su siervo, sirviéndole cebollas, zanahorias y tomatillos a todos los siervos sobre la tierra maestra en el reino de los cielos.
A rare talent.
El talento es una garra. Mira cómo agarra con talento.
This is a gift that I have. Simple. It's simple. A foolish, extravagant spirit full of forms, figures, shapes, objetos, ideas, apprehensions, motion, revoluciones. These are begot in the ventricle of memory, nourished in the womb of Pia Mater, and delivered upon the mellowing of occasion. But the gift is good in those in whom it is acute. And I am thankful for it.
Professor, I praise the Lord for you, and so may my classmates. You are a good member of the Commonwealth.
Dios mío, el hombre sabio habla poco. Adiós todos.
In Act 5, Scene 1 of Macbeth, the doctor and gentlewoman witness a sleeping Lady Macbeth dealing with the terrible things that she and her husband have done on their quest to power.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon't, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, yet all this while in the most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of waking. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo, you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her. To seem thus washing her hands, I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot. Hark! She speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, it's time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
Then if I've had a wife, where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of blood. Still. All the perfumes of Arabia will never sweeten this little hand. Oh.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well, well, well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep that have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave.
Even so.
Too bad. Too bad. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their different pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated and amazed to my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Moved to a modern-day interpretation, two sisters playfully talk of the more romantic of the two's love life. This is Two Gentlemen of Verona, Act 1, Scene 2.
But say, Lucetta, now we are alone, wouldst thou then counsel me to fall in love?
Aye, madam, so that you may stumble not unheedfully.
Of all the gentlemen that every day with parley encounter me, which in my opinion is worthiest love?
Please you repeat their names. I'll show my mind according to my shallow, simple skill.
What thinkst thou of the fair Sir Eglamour?
As a knight, well spoken, neat and fine, but were I you, he never should be mine.
What thinkst thou of the rich Mercatio?
Well of his wealth, but of himself, so-so.
What thinkst thou of the gentle Proteus?
Lord, to see what folly reigns in us.
How now, what means this passion at his name?
Pardon, dear madam, 'tis a passing shame that I, unworthy body as I am, should censure thus on lovely gentlemen.
Why not on Proteus as of all the rest?
Then thus, of many good, I think him best.
Your reason?
I have no other but a woman's reason. I think him so because I think him so.
And wouldst thou have me cast my love on him?
Aye, if you thought your love not cast away.
Why, he of all the rest have never moved me.
Yet he of all the rest, I think, best loves
His
ye.
little speaking shows his love but small.
Why, that's closest kept burns most of all.
They do not love that do not show their love.
Oh, they love that least let men know their love.
Would I knew his mind.
Peruse this paper, madam.
What Julia say from whom?
That the contents will show.
Say, who gave it thee?
Valentine's page, and I think sent from Proteus. He would have given it you, but I, being in the way, did in your name receive it. Pardon the fault, I pray.
Now, by my modesty, a goodly broker, dare you presume to harbor wanton lines, to whisper and conspire against my youth? Now trust me, 'tis an office of great worth, and you an officer fit for the place, or else come no more into my sight.
To weep for love deserves more fee than aid.
Will ye be gone?
Oh, that you may ruminate.
And yet I would I had o'erlooked the letter. It were a shame to call her back now and pray her to a fault for which I chid her. What fool is she that knows I am maid and would not force the letter into my view? Since maids in modesty say no to that which we would have the profferer construe I. Fie, how wayward is this foolish love, that like a testy babe will scratch the nurse and presently all humbled kiss the rod. How churlishly I chid Lucetta hence, when willingly I would have had her here. How angrily I taught my brow to frown, when inward joy enforced my heart to smile. My penance is to call Lucetta back, and ask remission for my folly past. What ho, Lucetta?
What would your ladyship?
Is't near dinner time?
Ah, I would it were that you might kill your stomach upon your meat, and not upon your maid.
What is that thou took up so gingerly?
Nothing.
Why didst thou stoop then?
To pick up a paper that I let fall.
And is that paper nothing?
Nothing concerning me.
Then let it lie for those that it concerns.
Nay, it will not lie where it concerns, or else it have a false interpreter.
Ah, some love of yours hath writ to you in rhyme.
That I might sing it to a tune, your ladyship consent.
As little of such toys as may be possible, best sing it to a tune, A Light of Love.
Nay, it is too heavy for so light a tune.
Heavy? Like it has some burden in it.
Aye, and melodious words would you sing it.
And why not you?
I cannot reach so high.
Let's see your song. How now, minion?
Keep tune there still, that you might sing it out. And yet, methinks I do not like this tune.
You do not?
Nay, it is too sharp.
You, minion, are too saucy.
Nay, and now you are too flat, and large concord and too harsh a descant. There wanted but a mean to fill your song.
The mean is drowned with your unruly bass.
Indeed, I bid the bass for Proteus.
This babble shall not henceforth trouble me. Here is a coil with protestation. Go, get ye gone, and let the papers lie. You would be fingering them to anger me.
Oh, she makes it strange, but she would be best pleased to be so angered with yet another letter.
Nay, would I were so angered with the same. Oh, hateful hands to tear such loving words, injurious wasps to feed on such sweet honey, and kill the bees that yield them with your sting. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. writ. Kind Julia. Unkind Julia. As in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. And here is writ, love wounded Proteus. Poor wounded name. My bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy wounds be thoroughly healed, and thus I search it with a sovereign kiss. But twice or thrice was Proteus' name written down. Be calm, good wind, blow not a word away till I have found every letter in the letter, except mine own name. That some whirlwind bear into a fearful hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name twice writ. Poor, forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus. To the sweet Julia, that I'll tear away. And yet, I will not. Sits so prettily, he couples it to his own complaining names. Thus, I will fold them upon each other. Now, kiss, embrace, contend, do what you will.
Madam! Dinner is ready and father stays.
Well, let us go then.
Nay, and shall these papers lie like telltales here?
If you respect them, best to take them up.
Nay, I was taken up for laying them down, and yet they shall not lie here for catching a cold.
I see you have a month's mind to them.
You may say what sights you see. I see things too, although you judge, I wink.
Come, will it please you go?
Angelo has sentenced Claudio to death for impregnating a woman out of wedlock. Claudio's sister, Isabella, uses Angelo's presence as an opportunity to ask for mercy, but Angelo, being taken by Isabella's beauty, has an unsavory compromise in mind. This is Measure for Measure, Act 2, Scene 4.
Oh, heavens. Why does my blood thus muster to my heart, making both it unable for itself and dispossessing all my other parts of necessary fitness? So play the foolish throngs with one that swoons. Come all to help him, and so stop the air by which he should revive. And even so, the generals, subject to a well-wished king, quit their own part, and in obsequious fondness crowd to his presence, where their untaught love must needs appear offense. How now? Fair maid,
I am come to know your pleasure.
that you might know it would much better please me than to demand what's his. Your brother cannot live.
Even so, heaven keep your honor.
Yet may he live a while, and it may be as long as you or I. Yet he must die.
Under your sentence?
Yea.
When? I beseech you. That in his reprieve, longer or shorter, he may be so fitted that his soul sicken not.
These filthy vices. 'Twas good to pardon him that hath from nature stolen a man already made, as to put as to remit their saucy sweetness that do coin heaven's image and stamps it are forbid. 'Tis all as easily, falsely, to take away a life true made as to put metal in restrained means to make a false one.
'Tis set down so in heaven, but not in earth.
Say you so? Then I shall pose you quickly. Which would you rather? That the most just Lord now took your brother's life? Or, to redeem him, give up your body to such sweet uncleanness as she that he hath stained?
Sir, believe this. I had rather give my body than my soul.
I talk not of your soul. Our compelled sins stand more for number than for account.
How say you?
Nay, I'll not warrant that, for I can't speak against the thing I say. Answer to this. I, now the voice of the recorded law, pronounce a sentence on your brother's life. Might there not be some charity in sin to save this brother's life?
Please you to do it. I'll take it as a peril to my soul. It is no sin at all, but charity.
Please you to do it at peril of your soul were equal poise of sin and charity.
That I do beg his life. If it be sin, heaven let me bear it. You, granting of my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer to have it added to the faults of mine, and nothing of your answer.
Nay, but hear me. Your sense pursues not mine. Either you are ignorant, or seem so craftily, and that's not good.
Well, let me be ignorant, and in nothing good, but graciously to know I am no better.
Thus wisdom wishes to appear most bright when it doth tax itself, as these black masks proclaim and enshield beauty 10 times louder than beauty could displayed. But mark me, to be received plain, I'll speak more gross. Your brother is to die.
So?
And his offence is so as it appears, accounting to the law upon that pain.
True.
Admit no other way to save his life, as I subscribed, not that nor any other, but in the loss of question, that you, his sister, finding yourself desired of such a person whose credit with the judge or own great place could fetch your brother from the manacles of the old building law, and that there were no other earthly mean to save him, but that either you must lay down the treasures of your body, to this suppose it, or else to let him suffer. What would you do?
As much for my poor brother as for myself. That is, were I under the terms of death, the impression of keen whips I'd wear as rubies, and strip myself to death, as to a bed that longing have been sick for, ere I yield my body up to shame.
Then must your brother die.
And 'twere the cheaper way. Better it were a brother died at once, than that a sister, by redeeming him, should die forever.
Were not you then as cruel as the sentence that you slandered so?
Ignominy in ransom and free pardon are of two houses. Lawful mercy is nothing kin to foul redemption.
You seemed of late to make the law a tyrant, and proved the sliding of your brother a merriment than a vice.
Pardon me, my lord. It oft falls out, to have what we would have. We speak not what we mean. I something do excuse the thing I hate, for his advantage that I dearly love.
We are all frail.
Else let my brother die. If not a Federy, but only he, and succeed thy weakness.
Nay. Women are frail too.
Aye, as the glasses where they view themselves, which are as easy broke as they make forms. Women, help heaven. Men their creation mar is profiting by them. Nay, call us 10 times frail. For we are as soft as our complexions are, and incredulous to false prints.
I think it well. And from this testimony of your own sex, since I suppose we are made to be no stronger than faults may shake our frames, let me be bold. I do arrest your words. Be that you are, that is a woman. If you be more, you're none. If you be one, as you are well expressed by all external warrants, show it now by putting on the destined livery.
Have no tongue but one. Gentle, my lord. Let me entreat you speak the former language.
Plainly conceive, I love you!
My brother did love Juliet, and yet you tell me that he shall die for it.
He shall not, Isabel. If you give me love.
I know your virtue hath a license in it, which seems a little fouler than it is to pluck on others.
Believe me, on mine honor, my words express my purpose.
Little honour to be much believed, a most pernicious purpose, seeming I will proclaim thee, Angelo, look for it. Sign me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched tongue, I'll tell the world aloud what man thou art.
Who will believe thee, Isabel? My unspoiled name, the austereness of my life, my vouch against you, my place in the state, shall so your accusation overweigh, that you shall stifle in your own report and smell of calumny. I have begun, and so I give my sensual race the rein. Fit thy consent to my sharp appetite, or else he must not only die the death, but thy unkindness shall his death draw out to lingering sufferance, lay by all nicety and prolicious blushes that do banish what they sue for. Answer me tomorrow, or by the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can. My false always your true.
To whom should I complain? Should I tell this, who would believe me? Perilous mouths, and bearing them one and the self-same tongue, either of condemnation or of proof, bidding the law make curtsy to their will, looking both right and wrong to their appetite, to follow as it draws. Also my brother, though he hath fallen by the prompter of the blood, yet hath he in him such a mind of honour, that had he have 20 heads to tender down on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. Then, Isabel, live chaste, and brother die. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death, for his soul's rest.
The following scene is from Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 8. Macduff and Macbeth meet on the battlefield.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them. Turn, hellhound, turn! Of all men else, I have avoided thee, but get thee back! My soul is too much charged with the blood of thine already. I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloody young villain, and terms can give thee out. O Fortuna, Vela Luna, Statu variabilis, Pom pom semper cresces, pom pom alti cresces, pom pom iparites stabiles, pom pom non cobdura, pom et tudura, pom pom lido mentis asiem, egestatem, potestatem, Lisolvitu glaciam. Ha! Thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the intrinsic air impress, as make me bleed. I live a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born. Dispel thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macduff was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped. Cursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee. Then yield, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the times. We'll see thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here you may see the tyrant! will not live to kiss the ground beneath young Malcolm's feet, or to be baited by the rabble's curse. Though Burnham Wood be come to Dunson Lane, and thou opposed, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, enough!
This next scene is Portia's monologue from The Merchant of Venice. It is a timeless reminder of the power of mercy. I invite you to listen to Portia's words and reflect on how they could relate to events in your life and our world today. This is Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesses him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptered sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. An earthly power doth then show likest God when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy.
This next scene is from Taming of the Shrew. It portrays sibling rivalry at its finest. Kate and Bianca are discussing boys, and things get feisty. Dads everywhere will be able to relate to their father's woes. This is Taming of the Shrew, Act 2, Scene 1.
Good sister, wrong me not nor wrong yourself to make a bondmaid and a slave of me. That I disdain. Before these other goods unbind my hands, I'll pull them off myself, yeah, all my raiment to my petticoat, or whatever you command, I will do, so well as I know my duty to my elders.
Of all thy suitors here, I charge thee tell this. Tell whom thou lovest best. See thou dissemble not.
Believe me, sister, of all the men alive, I have never yet beheld that special face which I could envy above all others.
Minion, thou liest. Is it not Hortensio?
If you affect him, sister, here, I swear I'll plead for you myself, but you shall have him.
Oh, then be like you fancy riches more. You'll have Gremio to keep you fair.
Is it for him you do envy me so? Nay. Then you jest, and I will assume that you have but jested with me all this while. I prithee, sister Kate, unbind my hands.
Oh. If that be in jest, then all the rest was so.
Why, how now, dame? Whence grows this insolence? Bianca, stand aside. Poor girl, she weeps. Go ply thy needle, meddle not with her. For shame, thou hilding of a devilish spirit. Why dost thou wrong her that did ne'er wrong thee? When did she cross thee with a bitter word?
Her silence flats me, and I'll be revenged.
What? In my sight? Bianca, get thee out.
What, will you not suffer me? Nay, now I see, she is your treasure, she must have a husband. I must dance barefoot on her wedding day, and, for your love to her, lead apes in hell. Talk not to me. I will go sit and weep till I can find occasion of revenge.
Was ever a gentleman thus grieved as I?
In Act 1, Scene 2 of Richard III, Richard attempts to woo the fair Lady Anne, despite their complicated past.
Set down. Set down your holy load, if honor may be shrouded in a hearse. Whilst I awhile ubiquitously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor, key-cold figure of a holy king. Pale ashes of the house of Lancaster. Thou bloodless remnant of that holy royal blood. Be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the self-same hand that made these wounds. Lo, in these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my poor eyes. Oh, cursed be the hands that made these holes. Cursed the heart that had the heart to do it. Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence. More direful hap betide the hated wretch that makes us wretched by the death of thee. Then I can wish to wolves, to spiders, toads, or any creeping venomed thing that lives. If ever he have child, abortive be it, prodigious and untimely brought to light, whose ugly and unnatural aspect may fright the hopeful mother at the view, and that be heir to his unhappiness. If ever he have wife, let her be made more miserable by the life of him than I am made by the death of my young lord and thee. Come now towards Tristy with your holy load. Take him from Paul's to be interred there.
Stay, you that bear the corse, and set it down.
What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villains! Set down the corse, or by Saint Paul, I'll make a corse of him that disobeys.
My lord, stand back and let the coffin pass.
Unmannered dog, stand thou when I command. Advance thy halberd higher than my breast, or by Saint Paul, I'll strike thee to my foot, and spurn upon thee, beggar, for thy boldness.
What, do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal. The mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell! Thou hast but power over his mortal body, his soul thou canst not have. Therefore be gone.
Sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
O devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries. Oh, gentlemen, see dead Henry's wounds open their congealed mouths and bleed afresh. Blush, blush, thou lump of foul deformity, for 'tis thy presence that exhales this blood from cold and empty veins where no blood dwells. Thy deeds, inhuman and unnatural, provokes this deluge of unnatural. Oh, God, which this blood maids, revenge his death. O earth, which this blood drinks, revenge his death. Either heaven with lightning strike the murderer dead, or earth gape open wide and eat him quick, as thou dost swallow up this good king's blood which his hell-governed arm hath butchered.
Lady, you know no rules of charity which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest nor law of God nor man. No beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
Oh, wonderful, when devils tell the truth.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe, divine perfection of a woman, of these supposed crimes to give me leave, by circumstance but to acquit myself.
Vouchsafe, diffused infection of a man, of these known evils but to give me leave by circumstance to accuse thy cursed self.
Fairer than tongue can name thee, let me have some patient leisure to excuse myself.
Fouler than heart can think thee, thou canst make no excuse current but to hang thyself.
By such despair I should accuse myself.
And by despairing shalt thou stand excused for doing worthy vengeance on him, on thyself, that didst unworthy slaughter upon others.
Say that I slew them not.
Then say they are not slain, but dead they are and devilish slave by thee.
I did not kill your husband.
Why then, he's alive?
Nay, he is dead, and slain by Edward's hands.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood, the which thou once didst bend against her breast, but that thy brothers beat aside the point.
I was provoked by her slanderous tongue that laid their guilt upon my guiltless shoulders.
Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind that never dreamst on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant you.
Dost grant me, hedgehog? Then God grant me too. Thou mayest be damned for that wicked deed. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The better for the King of Heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven where thou shalt never come.
Let him thank me then, that helped to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than for earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else.
Some dungeon.
Your bedchamber.
Ill rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, until I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so. But, gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall into something of a slower method, is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner?
Thou wast the cause and most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty that did haunt me in my sleep, to undertake the death of all the world so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee homicide. These nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could not endure that beauty's wrack. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night, o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, for thou art both.
Would I were to be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
'Tis a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that killed my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better doth not breathe upon the earth.
He lives that loves thee better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet.
Why, that was he.
The selfsame name, but one of better nature.
Where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight, thou dost infect mine eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Would they were basilisks to strike thee dead.
I would they were, that I might die at once, for even now they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears, shamed their aspects with store of childish drops. These eyes, which never shed remorseful tear, no, when my father, York and Edward, wept to hear the piteous moan that Rutland made when black-faced Clifford shook his sword at him. Nor when thy warlike father, like a child, told the sad story of my father's death, and 20 times made pause to sob and weep, that all the standers by had wet their cheeks like trees bedashed with rain. In that sad time, my manly eyes did scorn an humble tear. And what these sorrows could not thence exhale, thy beauty hath, and made them blind with weeping. I never sued to enemy nor friend. My tongue could never learn sweet smoothing word. But now, thy beauty is proposed my fee. My proud heart sues and prompts my tongue to speak. Teach not thy lips such scorn, for it was made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. If thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here, I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which if thou please to hide in this true breast, and let forth the soul that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay now, do not pause, for I did kill King Henry, but 'twas thy beauty that set me on. Nay now, dispatch, 'twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Arise, dissembler. Though I wish thy death, I would not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
That was in thy rage. Speak it again, and, even with the word, this hand, which for thy love did kill thy love, shall for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their death shalt thou be accessory.
I would I knew your heart.
'Tis figured in my tongue.
I fear me both are false.
Then never was man true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then my peace is made.
That shalt thou know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look how my ring encompasseth thy finger. Even so, thy breast encloseth my poor heart. Wear both of them, for both of them are thine. And, if thy poor devoted servant may but beg one favor at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That it may please you, leave these sad designs to him that hath most cause to be a mourner, and presently repair to Crosby House, where, after I have solemnly interred this at Chertsey Monastery, this noble king, and wet his grave with my repentant tears, I will, with all expedient duty, see you. For divers unknown reasons, I beseech you, grant me this boon.
With all my heart, and much it joys me to see you are become so penitent. Trestle and Berkeley, go along with me.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Towards Chertsey, noble lord?
No, to Whitefriars. There attend my coming. Was ever woman in this humor wooed? Was ever woman in this humor won? I'll have her, but I will not keep her long. What, I that killed her husband and his father, to take her in her heart's extremest hate, with curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, the bleeding witness of hatred, by having God, her conscience, and these bars against me, and I, no friends to back my suit at all, but the plain devil and dissembling looks, and yet to win her, all the world to nothing. Hath she forgot already that brave Prince Edward, her lord, whom I, 3 months since, stabbed in my angry mood at Tewkesbury? A sweeter and lovelier gentleman, framed in the prodigality of nature, young, valiant, wise, and no doubt right royal, this spacious world cannot yet again afford. And yet, will she yet abase her eyes on me, that cropped the golden prime of this sweet prince, and made her widow to a woeful bed? On me, whose all not equals Edward's moiety? On me, that halts and am misshapen thus? My dukedom to a beggarly denier, I do mistake my person all this while. Upon my life, she finds, although I cannot, myself to be a marvelous proper man. Albeit charges for a looking glass, and entertain a score or two of tailors to study fashions to adorn my body. Since I am crept in favor with myself, I will maintain it with some little cost. But first, I'll turn yon fellow in his grave, and then return lamenting to my love. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I pass.
From Act 2, Scene 2 of Comedy of Errors, Adriana talks about love with the man that she believes to be her husband.
I, Antipholus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspects? I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. The time was once, when thou unurged wouldst vow that never words were music to thine ear, that never objects pleasing to thine eye, that never touch well welcomed to thine hand, that never made sweet savor to thine taste, unless I spake or looked or touched or coughed to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it that thou art then estranged from thyself? Thyself I call it, being strange to me, that undividable, incorporate, am better than thy dear self's better part. Do not tear away thyself from me. For know, my love, as easy as thou mayst fall a drop of water in the breaking gulf, and take unmingled thence that drop again, without addition or diminishing, is take from me thyself, and not me too. How dearly would it touch thee to the quick shouldst thou hear I were licentious, that this body consecrated to thee by ruffian lust shouldst be contaminated? Wouldst thou not spit at me, and spurn at me, and hurl the name of husband in my face, and tear the stained skin off my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring, and break with a deep divorcing vow? Oh, I know thou canst. Therefore see thou do it. I am possessed with an adulterate plot. For if we two be one, and thou play false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Keep then fair league and truce with thy true bed. I live disdained, thou undishonored.
The following scene is from A Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 5, Scene 1. The workers are performing the most lamentable comedy and most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe. This one's for you, Marcy.
If we offend, it is with our good will. That you should think we come not to offend, but with good will, to show our simple skill. That is the true beginning of our end. Consider then, we come but in despite. We do not come as minding to content you. Our true intent is all for your delight. We are not here that you should hear repent you. The actors are at hand, and by their show you shall know all that you are like to know. Gentles, perchance you wonder at this show, but wonder on till truth makes all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, Thisbe, is certain. This man with lime and rough cast doth present woe, that vile woe which did these lovers sunder, and through walls chink, poor soul, they are content to whisper. At the which let no man wonder. This man with lanthorn, dog, and bush of thorn doth present moonshine. For, if you would know, by moonshine did these lovers think no scorn to meet at Ninus' tomb, there to woo. This grisly beast, which lion hight by name, the trusty Thisbe, coming first by night, did scare away, or rather did affright. And as she fled, her mantle she did fall, which lion vile with bloody mouth did stain. Along comes Pyramus, sweet youth, and tall, and finds his trusty Thisbe's mantle slain, whereat with blade, with bloody, blameful blade, he bravely broached his boiling, bloody breast. And Thisbe, tarrying in mulberry shade, his dagger drew and died. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain.
In this same interlude, it doth befall that I, one snout by name, present a wall, and such a wall as I would have you think, that had in it a crannied hole or chink, through which the lovers Pyramus and Thisbe did whisper often, very secretly. This loam, this rough cast, and this stone doth show that I am that same wall. The truth is so. And this, the cranny, is right and sinister, through which the fearful lovers are to whisper. Pussycats, pussycats, pussycats.
Grim looks night. Oh, night with you so black. Oh, night, whichever art when day is not. Oh, night. Oh, night. I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. And now, oh, wall. Oh, sweet, oh, lovely wall that stands between her father's ground and mine. Thou, wall. Ooh, sweet and lovely wall. Show me thy chink to blink through with mine eye. Sex, courteous wall. Jove shield thee well for this. But what see I? No Thisbe do I see. Oh, wicked wall, through whom I see no bliss. Cursed be thy stone for the deceiving word.
The wall, methinks, being sensible, should curse again.
No, in truth, sir, he should not. Deceiving me is Thisbe's cue. She is to enter now, and I am to spy her through the wall. You shall see, it will fall pat as I told you. Yonder she comes.
Oh, wall! Oh, wall! Full often hast thou heard my moans, for parted my fair Pyramus and me. My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones with lime and hair knit up in thee.
I see a voice. Now will I to the chink to spy, and I can hear my Thisbe's face. Thisbe!
My love thou art, my love I think.
Think what thou wilt. I am thy lover's grace, and like Lymander am I trusted still.
And I, like Helen, to the fates me kill.
Much Shafalus to Procris was so true.
My Shafalus to Procris, I to you.
Kiss me through the hole of this vile wall.
No, I kissed the wall's hole, not your lips at all.
Wilt thou with many too meet me straightway?
Tide life, tide death, I come without delay.
Thus have I, Wall, my part discharged so, and being done, thus Wall away doth go.
You ladies, you, whose gentle hearts do fear the smallest monstrous mouse that creeps on floor, may now, perchance, both quake and tremble here when lion, rough in wildest rage, doth roar. Then know that I, one snug the joiner, am a lion fell, nor else no lion's dam. For if I should as lion come in strife into this place, 'twere pity on my life.
This lanthorn doth the horned moon present. Myself the man in the moon do seem to be. All that I have to say is that this lanthorn is the moon. I am the man in the moon. This thorn bush, my thorn bush. And this dog, my dog.
This is old Ninny's tomb. Where is my love?
Sweet moon, I thank thee for thy sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining now so bright, for by thy gracious golden glittering gleams I trust to take of truest Thisbe sight. But stay, oh splat! But mark poor night. I do you see the how can it be? Oh, see that's over here. Man, so good. What thing was good? Approach your spell. Oh, babe, come. Cut, bread, and drum. Quail, crush, conclude, and quell. Sweet church, thou lion's frame, and lying vine, have here the flower of my dear, which is, no, which was the fairest maid that lived, that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come here and found out sword and round wound, the path of pyramid. That path where heart die I. Am I dead? No. Am I sick? My soul is in the sky. Done. The moon, that is light. The moon, moon, take thy flight. Now. Beep, 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 beep. Die. No! No! Die.
Asleep, my love. What? Dead? My dove?
Oh, Pyramus, arise! Speak! Speak!
It's quite dumb. Dead. Dead. A tomb must cover thy sweet eyes. Oh, these lily lips, this cherry nose.
These yellow cowslip cheeks are gone! They're gone! Lovers make moan! His eyes were as green as leeks.
Oh, sisters three, come to me with hands as pale as milk. Lay them in gore, since you have shore which shears his thread of silk. Tongue not a word. Come, trusty sword. Come, blade. My breast imbrue. And farewell, friends. Thus Thisbe ends. Adieu. Adieu. Adieu.
Wilt thou care to hear the epilogue, or to witness a Bergamasque dance between two of our company?
All right. If that and we can't hear you, but we want to say we want to just let our actors know how much you appreciate them with a little round of applause from your own home. We are now yes. What a wonderful job. We are accepting questions in the Facebook comments for this and I will be emceeing them. We have a first question to start us off. What have you found to be the biggest challenges in doing theater virtually, and what have been the greatest rewards?
I guess I would start off with the greatest reward. We had people as far away as the UK in this show, New York, Pennsylvania, California, all over Washington. I know I'm probably missing some locations in there, but just people all over the world and across our country that we wouldn't get to meet and perform with in a different circumstance. So that's been a big, major blessing.
Would anyone else like to share?
I'll take the other half of that. As far as difficulties, it's exactly what you would anticipate. For anyone who's utilized Zoom meetings for anything, it's any sort of technical difficulties, whether it be internet connectivity, internet slowness, making sure we get videos and muting on and off. So that's kind of a new factor to theater that we have to take into account.
Yeah, we have another question that's sort of on the same theme, but it's kind of from a slightly different place. What do you think the advantages and disadvantages are to doing a virtual play?
Unfortunately, it's the same answer as before, which it's great because you can work with anybody. There's no restriction for space or location.
I see Abby, you raising your hand?
Yeah, kind of an advantage and a disadvantage is that you're working from your own space, which is so nice. You don't have to travel to get to rehearsal, so you can log on 5 minutes before and you're ready to go. But that also kind of is difficult in some ways because you don't have that time of driving to rehearsal, of prepping, of getting there early to really get into that headspace. So it kind of is like a positive and a negative, but it's definitely been enjoyable, so.
Well, a lot of people wanted to comment and tell you how much they enjoyed the show, calling out specific actors. A lot of people are mentioning their friends. Good job to Madison. Good job to Isabella and Eva. This is awesome. Love watching it. Pyramus Dying is the best. Excellent all. Bravo. What a great show. We enjoyed the show. Here's a question for the actors actually from the virtual theater. What was the most unexpected thing you found different about acting in this format? So any one of the actors can jump on and tell us what was the most unexpected thing.
The unexpected thing was figuring out how to act as a theater person on a camera. And also acting while mostly sitting, since we can't turn our cameras on and off if we're far away. So acting from just up here is very unusual. And rather than, being able to gracefully walk off stage, it's like, I'm done with my line. Oh, is this mute? Is this stop camera? Is it, wait, what? So, yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw Annie.
Yeah, I was going to say something kind of similar is finding how much you can do in this very tiny square that you've got, especially in Shakespeare, right? Like it's meant for the stage and we were doing a comedy and it's hard to be funny if you're just like, hi, I'm here. So finding a lot of what the physical constraints were, I actually found one of my favorite parts was because I'm in my house, it made it harder because like stuff goes wrong that I can't go deal with because I don't have a stage manager here. It's just me. But one of my favorite parts was finding what stupid props I could find because I'm a theater person, so my house is full of just dumb things, which is where you get a giant stuffed elephant and a cowboy hat. And just that was really fun in being a clown and being a fool, to be like, how much of that is real life? Because it's just stuff in my house.
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, I too am going to somewhat comment on that. As far as what was surprising was that and I think I remarked on this with Angela when we started our rehearsal, just how informative this was to actors who are coming from the theater world to are working on film, or working on camera. And I recently started doing commercial classes and acting for film, and I actually found that this Zoom platform was really it really translated rather well in terms of like looking at a certain point, telling a story with just the camera, these only technical aspects, which usually hinder a lot of theater actors when they move over to film, TV, or anything where they're using, they're interacting on camera or something like that. So I found this actually quite informative and useful in terms of making the narrative come to life, feel really real, and still have so much room to play. Like another actor mentioned, having just like a square, knowing where that is, having these limitations also allowed me as an actor to play outside of the box that I'm used to. And, I think that's so appropriate considering that we are theater actors and that's what is required of us when we are on stage. And this is our stage right now, so we have to make the most of it. And my director, Cassie Post, I think did a wonderful job in for me bringing that to life, with such a big scene with so many different actors. It was amazing that we could actually put on a play, and it was nothing short of inspiring. So that was very surprising.
Yeah, I'm going to continue on with the actors, but I was reminded by a comment to pitch our GoFundMe campaign, which helps our virtual theater generate money for shows, props, things of that nature. We aren't relying on it by any means, but we appreciate anyone who's able to help us out. But we're going to go on with how do I say it, Tegan? Somebody mentioned that they really loved the job that you did, but what was something unexpected or different that you found about acting in this format?
Well,
practicing our scene when Molly first pitched the idea of the sleepover, and we were coming up with ideas, and we all had lots of ideas, me, Bryn, and Amelia, and we were trying to figure out how we could like pass the magazine to each other in the scene, but it was hard. So that was one of the hard parts, and it was just really cool figuring out how to work with people, and props, lots of props.
Yeah, and Amelia.
I think yeah, like Tegan said, props, and like I'll have something, but then it's like, oh, I can't pass it to you. Like you have to find something in your house that you can receive it from. And then also Marcel didn't show up today, and so it was a different person, and that's always so hard to like change your character like a little bit.
Yeah. We have somebody who's reminding us that not only do we have actors from the UK, but we also have people who are watching from the UK. They're sending love from Great Britain, and good wishes to all of you. Stay safe and stay creative. Yeah, we have a couple more. This is absolutely brilliant. Way to go, Andrew. Way to go, Andrea. Way to go, Maggie. So many names are popping up. People are so appreciative of the actors and the directors who've done so much and to do this show.
Let's see. Milligan.
Yeah. So it looks like we're wrapping up with questions. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. We really appreciate you coming to see our show. Oh.
Wait, I want to hear from Maggie. I'm sorry, Maggie. I'm sorry, Glenn. I just have to.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Maggie was trying to respond.
I'm so sorry.
Maggie. Oh, she left.
Well,
We'll get her next time.
Well, I'm so sorry. I tried to make sure that that I got to everyone. So sorry if I missed somebody.
You did great.
All right. So is there anything anyone else wants to share, or are we ready to wrap up our questions for the night?
I just wanted to quickly say thank you. I think this is the first time I got a chance to watch all the actors and what everybody did. I'm so proud of everyone, and thank you, Virtual Theater, for giving us this opportunity to play. I know I needed this in a time when so much is going on in my country, and it's just great to be able to do the thing I love most in this world, and to be doing it amongst people I would never have the opportunity to do it with. So thank you, Virtual Theater. Thank you to all the actors. Thank you to all the directors. You are phenomenal. Thank you for always being creative. I live for you.
It's been amazing. I've loved every minute of it, and it's really great to be able to do theater, during these times. It really means a lot. So thank you all.
And again, thank you so much to everyone who's here and watching. We so appreciate you being here and seeing the work that we put in. And of course, we appreciate the actors and the directors and everyone who's put so much effort in the show. Once again, thank you so much. You did an amazing job.